Welcome to Ferrum, a small town nestled against the Blue Ridge Mountains. Ferrum is home to roughly 2,000 people, and at the moment, it is also home to a large debate. What should happen to the 84 acres of county-owned property? Should it become a spot for large amounts of housing, in turn sparking a need for zoning? Or should the land become a park? We spoke with Rebecca Saunders, the executive director at Friends of Ferrum Park, to see what inspired her and many others to start the park plan.
Being a part of Ferrum Forward helped to open up our eyes to the fact that there were no public spaces in Ferrum at all for our community. There's nowhere to have picnics. There's nowhere for families to get together and do parties. Like if you want to just have like a outdoor space to have a party. There's no public spaces anywhere within 20 minutes of us to have something like that for our community. Having festivals, having a farmer's market, realizing that there was absolutely no space for any of that, it really kind of pushed us to think about how this property can be preserved, but also used in ways that benefit the community the most.
A desire for space. A desire for an easy-to-use spot for the community. Time and time again, that is the answer I received in my interviews. There was no open space for the community, no space for people to use freely, no space for people to use at all, really. So, in general, how would a park benefit the community of Ferrum?
I think a park would benefit Ferrum in a lot of ways. Mainly, we don't really have recreational space in this part of the county. And I know that a lot of people are using the college campus, and that just really isn't suitable for a lot of folks. And sometimes they feel a little nervous about being on campus. We need a place for people to get together, bring their families, have a chance to take their animals out and have a good time. It's such a beautiful part of the country, and we really deserve a park out here, and I hope we can help make that happen.
I honestly think we don't have any areas where the community and people traveling through can use a stopping place. I think if there are restrooms, if there are trails, if there are places where you could keep your bike for a short period of time, I think people stopping through the community often don't know where to stop. And if we put up signs, that could be a stopping point. I also think the park would be very beneficial. Places to walk. I lead nature trail hikes a lot around the community, and you have the master gardeners and master naturalists, specifically the master naturalists. It could easily be used for them, for them to sponsor hikes with the elementary school. You've got an elementary school right across the road. And so the opportunity to let the elementary school have the kids meet some of us there to show them the natural world, I think that would be excellent. So, I think the community needs something on this end of the county.
I think that the park would benefit Ferrum most as a community gathering place. But not only that, but I think it would involve so many people as far as young and old could hike. Lots of people have dogs. If you can get the dog park, that'd be great. The whole cohesiveness of it will benefit the whole entire community, young and old.
After the interviews, I began wondering, how can the community help? How do they get this park proposal passed?
So what we really need right now is community support. We are still trying to convince the supervisors that this option of a park with limited attainable housing is a better solution than trying to pack in as much housing as possible. We're trying to get them to see the benefits not only to our community, but to the environment here, to our culture as far as being rural. The more housing you throw in here, the less rural we become. And suddenly now it takes away the character of everything that is Ferrum. We really need community support in the way that they show up and they tell the supervisors, hey, this is important to us. But coming out to the supervisors meetings and showing your active support, it matters so much. The supervisors need to see that the community fully embraces this idea of having its own space, that not only do we want it, we need it. And anybody who can come out to any of the supervisor meetings in the next month or two, prior to them hearing our proposal and voting on it, it's every single person matters. Even if you can just call supervisors, Franklin County Board of Supervisors, and say, hey guys, I support this, I think it's a great idea, it helps so much more than you could ever imagine. The more support we have, the more likely this is to happen. And so we really appreciate every single person who has spoken out and tried to help us make this happen.
So will the community of Ferrum receive their much-needed park? Only time will tell. For more information, head to yourferrumpark.com.